What's up, y'all? This is Ty. I am here to review season 2, episodes 9 and 10 of Tyler Perry's crazy drama, Beauty in Black. I almost said Booty in Black because you know that's what I like to call it. And these episodes are titled Toxic Vibes and Playing for Keeps. Now, listen, when we last left off, that old horny Charles done brought these strangers over to his house to bump and grind, and they tried to rob him, but it was a robbery going wrong and a booty call going wrong. But Charles ended up getting the best of them, killing them. Then he got to try to get rid of the bodies. He got the bodies all chopped up and spliced up, laying out in this beautiful house. That's a beautiful house he has right there. He calls Varney over. Varney's trying to help him. Varney's a fool because Varney need to leave this dude alone. But anyway, as that's happening, here come the police. Or so we thought. That's where that last episode left off. So we pick right back up off of that, and we come in there, and we have these people who are really not the police. And Charles noticed that because he noticed the guy's shoes. So, you come to finish the job. So me, with my crazy self, because this show is crazy, right? I'm thinking they're going to have some more drama. I'm thinking when Charles goes to the safe to give the guy the money, I'm thinking he's going to pull out a gun and take care of them. You know, I like the action and the foolishness. That's what I thought was going to happen, but that's not what happened. And I was like, this is crazy. But then you saw the robber look at those bodies. He's like, whoa, this is a mess right here. So I'm like, this is crazy. But I'm like, something's going to happen. Charles is going to get his money back. That's how I had the feeling that he was going to get his money back. I was like, this is crazy. And when Varney's trying to talk to Charles about the mess you always getting yourself in, Charles has the nerve to tell Varney, leave me alone. And you know what, Varney? That's what you need to do. You need to leave him alone. Now let's move on down to the ranch with Jules' son, Glenn, that was pushed off of in the barn. He fell. Well, he didn't fall. He was pushed when Rain thought that Sylvie was being abused, being forced, being raped, basically, which was not the case. That's not what happened. And she was actually having sex with this young man. And now Glenn, that's his name, Glenn is still hanging on. He hasn't gone to see the king. Not yet anyway. He's still hanging on, but things are looking bad. And Jules is pissed off. And Kimmy wants to know what happened. And that was irritating me. What happened? What happened? What happened? Your sister had sex with the boy that was showing her the horses. He showed her the horses. They got horny. Bam, bam. They was doing it. And next thing you know, Rain walks in, pushes him. He falls because she thought the girl was being raped. But this plot is irritating me because Sylvie's irritating me with, I want to go see him. You don't know him. Yeah. Was the sex that good? Y'all was rolling around in the hay for what, 10 minutes? Was it that good that I feel so bad, and he was showing me the horses and then he showed me the other horse. Basically, so she's like, but this whole thing of how she's just so distraught, I don't know, maybe I'm just cold. I'm like, what is she tripping for? You don't have to go see nobody. You know all the drama your sister been in. You know your sister was on the whole stroll and all this craziness with Jules and all them. Why, if she's telling you to stay home, why would you want to go? What is wrong with you? But no, she's young, so we gonna chalk that up to that. That's that. Then we had a very funny scene where we see Mallory talking to Olivia, and Olivia's telling her, "Why are you working with Kimmy?" Which she's pissed off about that, and she's like really upset. And then Mallory gets a call from Felicia, the stripper, who says she got some viable information on Kimmy and Rain that could help Mallory. And you know, Mallory wants to take her down. Everybody wants to take Kimmy down because Kimmy is in charge right now, and I'm really loving that. And then we have stupid Roy talking to Jules, and he's saying that, we gotta do something, we gotta get rid of them and all that. And he comes up with a plan. And what does he do? He takes his stupid self over to Varney's house, which Varney has a nice place too. Everybody got a nice place. That's what I like about the show. I like nice places. Varney comes in. Can you imagine? You done dealt with one stupid relative. Now you come to your house, the brother's in your house, and he's just bullying him. And I was like, Varney should have just pushed him out the way. But Varney didn't do that. He just sat down. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let this guy call him all kind of big bitches and use all these homophobic slurs. He's disgusting. He's rude. I want him to punch Roy in his face. Now, Roy's over there bullying him and telling him, I don't want, my father's a homophobe. And if he found out his #1 lawyer likes to dabble with the boys, I'm like, so does your daddy. So he ain't gonna be that mad because he liked the same thing. So that was pissing me off. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I really want Varney to handle Roy so badly. But because I'm tired of the bullying. And then like Jules is furiated. Jules is like, he wants to know if Kimmy was there. He's asking around because he's like, if Kimmy has something to do with his son, her ass is grass. Then we see Charles trying to get somebody to help him with his situation. Then he calls his mother and his mother to come handle and help these things up and help him out with this and clean up the mess. And she says, this is your first mess, this, that, and the third and all of that. Now, while that's going on, poor Varney, after being bullied by Roy, gets a call from Mallory. She's saying, hey, let's go down to the club, because she wants to go down to the club because she thinks she's got some information from Felicia, who was sleeping with Roy. So she's like, okay, let me go there. So Varney's like, okay, I'll go with you. Varney's too loyal to this whole family, and he needs to take his money, take his law firm, and go somewhere else. That's what I think. Go somewhere else, do something else, leave them alone. But anyway, we go back to Charles, and Charles is with his mother. You can rely on your mama, right? We find out in this scene, she's the one that set up him being robbed. That pissed me off because I was like, wait a minute. So she down with this whole thing of robbing him. And I was like, well, that's crazy. You do that to your own son, but that's what happens when you're hungry for money. So then that was the end of episode 9. And the beginning of episode 10 picks up with dirty, evil Olivia telling that worker, the cops, I own the cops, and so did your bitch ass mother. Or no, she said, so does your mother. And she said, yeah, she did say your bitch ass mother. She said, how is she, by the way? That whole thing was crazy, but that's because Olivia owes money and she's in debt, so she'll do anything. And she tried to rob her ex-husband. Now she's going to steal from her son, and she's upset because all this flashiness, that, and the third, and Charles ain't got no money. He ain't had enough money in that safe. He blowing through money like it's ridiculous. That was crazy. Then we see a scene where Crazy Roy goes to Charles, and he's talking about how he's got Varney in his bag and in his back pocket. And Charles told him, you need to stop messing with smart people. You are so dumb. You are so dumb. You are so dumb. And that was crazy. And I'm telling you, he's just Roy just irks me. It's just ridiculous what was going on. So now let's see what happened after that. Felicia has a conversation with Mallory. In that conversation, she's pretty much telling Mallory about info that she found out. And in that conversation, that's when she finds out that Mallory is actually Roy's wife. And she's like, oh, wow, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting. Meanwhile, Roy is on his way down to the club as well. And the guy tells him, listen, you need to go to the back, in that backyard part of the club that kind of looks like the Pink, back there where they be in the cars doing the nasty and doing that. He said, you need to go down to the club. That's what you need to do. You need to go down to the back, and it's better back there. And then it was so funny when he said he's paid him for how much it costs to get back there. And he said on the speaker, we got a goofy ass in coming back here. And I thought that was really funny, and it was crazy. Then you notice what was going on with this. Rain has decided, speaking of clubs, she wants to buy this club, and she's saying that she's going to go meet with Giovanni, who is, I forget, the Delinda's son, to see if she can make some arrangements for when she can go so she can buy this club off of Giovanni, because that's what she wants to invest in, is getting a club and getting a strip club, because that's the thing. And that was interesting. And there was some other interesting aspects in this episode. Let me see what my notes tell me here. Roy back there in the backyard doing it with Felicia, and Mallory loses it and goes out on the attack. While this altercation is going on, Varney recognizes the guy's voice. That's the same guy that robbed the house. And he's like, I recognize that voice. So we see Mallory going back there, ready to fight, going crazy. And I'm like, as much as she hates Roy and can't stand him, and she too has cheated, she couldn't stand the sight of him getting it on with that stripper Felicia in the back. So that's how those 2 episodes went. Real crazy. I know I left some stuff up, but I was just going by some of the things that intrigued me, that, well, not intrigued, but things that stood out to me. The thing that annoyed me, the 2 people that annoyed me the most in this episode was Roy with his bullying and Sylvie with her whining and her stupidity. So, oh, and did I mention that Horace is doing well? I don't know if I did, but if I didn't, Horace is doing well. Horace is in Italy recovering, and that's good. And, you know, that's good to know. You know, so Horace ain't dying. It worked. That Italy thing is working. So that's all I have for now. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you all in the next video.